started a week before Halloween. People in my small town began talking about a clown who appeared every night under the old streetlight on Maple Avenue. At first, no one took it seriously. Some thought it was a prank, maybe someone getting into the Halloween spirit early. He wasn't a funny-looking clown, though. His suit was dirty and torn, his makeup cracked and faded. The balloons he held looked old and almost deflated, their colors dull like something pulled out of an attic. He never moved, never waved, never even blinked, just stood there, under the flickering light, staring at anyone who passed by. For the first few nights, people laughed about it. Teenagers drove by, took pictures, even tried to talk to him, but he never reacted. By the third night, laughter had turned into discomfort. People began to cross the street to avoid him. Police came once just to check. They said there was nothing there, just an empty streetlight and a few popped balloons lying on the road. But the weird part was the dashcam footage. When officers reviewed it back at the station, they saw, for a single frame, the clown standing right behind their car. Then he vanished. A few nights later, a woman named Laura Jenkins was driving home after her shift at the hospital. She passed Maple Avenue and saw him standing there again. But this time, as she kept driving, she caught something in her rearview mirror. The clown was still there, only now he was under a different streetlight, closer to her. No matter how far she drove, he always seemed to appear ahead of her, silent, motionless, waiting. When she finally pulled into her driveway, she looked into the mirror one last time and froze. He was standing under her porch light. After that night, she refused to leave her house after dark. About a week later, a man named Eddie Morales shared something online that terrified everyone. He had security cameras outside his home, not far from Maple Avenue. Around 3 in the morning, his porch camera caught a clown walking up his driveway, holding a bunch of balloons and something long and metal in his other hand. He stopped right in front of the camera and just stared into it for 2 full minutes. Then, leaning closer, he whispered something. When the footage was slowed down, you could barely make it out. 4 chilling words. You should have laughed. By Halloween night, the entire town was on edge. The police increased patrols, but they never found him. That didn't stop the local kids from turning it into a dare. One of them, 17-year-old Kyle Patterson, decided to go looking for the clown himself. He told his friends he was going to record it for TikTok. He never came home. 3 days later, hikers found his phone near the woods behind the old fairgrounds. The last video on it started with Kyle laughing, saying he was going to prove everyone wrong. Then, as he walked deeper into the woods, the laughter faded. The video showed something red hanging from a tree branch, a balloon. Kyle whispered, "No way," and started recording. A faint giggle came from somewhere behind him. He turned the camera, and for a split second there was a flash of a face, white makeup, red grin, dark eyes. Then the camera shook violently. The last thing anyone heard was a whisper, "You stopped laughing too soon." The police searched for weeks but found nothing except for an old abandoned ice cream truck near the fairgrounds. Inside were torn clown masks, children's shoes, and a cracked mirror with words smeared across it in red paint. "Laugh with me." The fingerprints on the truck didn't match anyone. Kyle's body was never found. Months passed and things quieted down. People tried to move on. Then an old man came forward saying this had all happened before. Back in 1983, he said, a traveling carnival came through town. There was a fire that burned down the fairgrounds, killing almost everyone. But one clown survived. A performer named Grinny the Great. After the fire, he disappeared. Some say he lost his mind. Others say he swore revenge. The old man said that every few decades, Grinny comes back. Always near the same woods. Always around Halloween. Always waiting for people who've forgotten how to laugh. Last Halloween, someone claimed to see him again. Same place, same streetlight, same motionless stance. But this time, he wasn't holding balloons. He was holding a phone. On the screen was a paused video. It was Kyle Patterson's last recording. Now people say the streetlight still flickers late at night, and every once in a while balloons appear tied to mailboxes along Maple Avenue. Some swear they've seen a shadow standing under that light, holding something in his hand. They say if you stop your car there after midnight, you'll see him, the clown under the streetlight, staring back at you through the glass. And if you listen carefully, through the hum of the wind and the silence of the night, you'll hear his voice whispering from the dark. You should have laughed.